Hello and welcome to Thursday's Viking.TV special interview. And this week we get a chance to peek inside a world so impressive and unique that UNESCO has designated it a piece of intangible cultural heritage. It is certainly a must-see for anyone visiting Vienna, though not everyone gets to witness the workings behind the scenes of the Winter Riding School inside Vienna's Hofburg Palace, unless you're lucky enough to be with Viking and enjoy a privileged access tour. See for yourself what you could see for yourself. I mean, aren't they amazing? That was a glimpse of the spectacular world of the historic Spanish riding school. We'll see more in a moment. Right now, though, let's meet the man who can tell us more about the long history, the training and breeding, those amazingly beautiful stallions and their talented riders. Please welcome Erwin Klissenbauer, the Spanish Riding School's Chief Operating Officer, joining us now from his office in Vienna in that very palace. Hello and welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
Oh, it's lovely.
I'm really proud to present the Viennese Spanish Riding School in Viking.TV.
Oh, I'm so pleased you are. Now, first question, and I know everybody will want to know this. It's a very simplistic question, but people must always ask you, why is it called the Spanish Riding School when its long history is based in Vienna, Austria?
The name Spanish refers to the horses on show here. Their great ancestors originate from Spain, from where they were brought to Austria, emperors court during the 16th century.
So it's all to do with the horses. That's why it's called the Spanish Riding School.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Even though it is really Viennese and very much an ambassador for everything Viennese and Austrian nowadays. The riding school, as we see it now, I gather, was built in 1785. Can you tell us a bit more about its history? I mean, how did it even come about? How did those horses end up in Austria? Who was Emperor Charles VI who set it all up?
Yeah, it's a great history. The Spanish Riding School is in existence for more than 450 years. Emperor Maximilian ordered on September 20th, 1565, that a horse exercise arena, so-called Rosstummelplatz in German, be built in front of the Stallburg. This was the beginning of the Viennese Spanish Riding School. The Stallburg is a magnificent Renaissance building within the complex of Hofburg. They are the stables of the Lipizzaner horses. Emperor Charles VI made the decision to construct the Winter Riding School, and in 1729, the court architect Joseph Emanuel Fischer von Erlach submitted plans for this riding school to be integrated into the overall complex of the Hofburg. 6 years later, in 1735, Charles VI opened the Winter Riding School and the worldwide most famous riding hall. And if you visit Vienna, you will see the inscription on the entrance wall of the Winter Riding School, which tells us, this imperial riding arena, dedicated to the aristocratic youth for training and practice, as well as for training for horses and for artistic riding and war, was built anno 1735.
1735, yes.
Yeah.
An incredible tradition. He must have understood that it was about I don't know, it was about military precision, it was about beauty and culture and discipline, I guess, about horse and rider.
Yes, this is the combination which make the heart of the Spanish riding school.
I understand there is a massive portrait of the emperor at one end of the Great Hall, where the riders, when they come in at the beginning of any demonstration, they salute the emperor at the start of every performance.
Yeah, this is a special story. The picture of Emperor Charles VI on a white horse is special in many regards, as it was created by two painters. On the one hand, Johann Gottfried Auerbach, and on the other hand, Johann George Hamilton. This painting is in the royal box of the riding school, and all riders take off their bighorn hats to it when entering into the riding arena.
Yes, we'll see that, I think, in a moment. Yeah. Tell me the story of the Lipizzaner stallions. Where did the breed come from? And why are they so good at what they do? And I understand they got their name from a particular stud farm in Slovenia.
Yeah, it's great history again. Yeah, Habsburg Charles V ruled his empire from Spain, and the so-called Spanish horses, Andalusian and Neapolitan horses, joined his possession through Europe. And Maximilian also brought back horses from Spain to Vienna. His youngest brother, Archduke Charles II, ultimately founded 1580, the largest Habsburg stud farm in the Trieste cast, so-called Lipizza. At first, the horses were so-called cast horses. And during the 19th century, the name family today, Lipizzans, became common.
So the Lipizzan breed, did you say 1580?
Yes.
That is a long time ago.
Yeah.
An amazing history. I mean, talk about, thoroughbreds, my goodness. So the Lipizzaner breed is clearly very highly intelligent, must be, because they learn very fast, but they must be very strong horses. What are the special characteristics of that breed which make them so well suited to what you do now?
Mm-hmm. Character and conformation are perfect for the exercising. Since we breed the stallions ourselves in Piber, our stud in Styria, we can guarantee a highly qualified genetic pool. That helps us to make sure only the best stallions perform in Vienna. Consequently, they are used to produce high-quality horses. As you can see, it's a perfect life circle.
Yes, it is a perfect breed, isn't it, for what they do. It's the same as any other breeder breeding for racing or something like that. These horses are bred, but over hundreds of years now, for the very job they do now, which is why they do it so well, and they look so amazing. How many horses do you currently have as members, as it were, of the Spanish riding school?
At the moment, there are 119 stallions in Vienna and at the training center Heldenberg. This is in Lower Austria.
Yes. How many riders? How many humans involved?
There are 3 chief riders, 9 riders, 3 assistant riders, and 2 élèves, the youngest of them.
And there must be so many trainers and stable people and support staff.
The support staff is about 25 to 30 persons, the grooms. They are also very, very important.
Very important. They have to understand the whole culture, don't they? Yeah. Because it's all about discipline, as far as I can see. How many years go into the training of both horses and riders?
When the young stallions arrive in Vienna, they are 3.5 years old. In 7 to 9 years' time, they're fully trained school horses. So it lasts a very long period.
Yes. And what about the riders?
It's the same. Also, the education of the riders lasts 7 to 9 years.
I read an interview in a horsey magazine with one of your famous riders who said that riders have to work on their seat. Obviously, any rider has to learn how to sit on a horse, but they have to understand balance. And apparently they work on their seat on the ground as well as on in the saddle. And they also have to be able to ride without stirrups. They have to be able to mount their horse without stirrups and in full gear with all of their boots and jackets and everything. It's a very disciplined life, isn't it? Both for horse and for rider.
They are not only riders, they are artistics.
They are, absolutely. And it must take many years to understand that discipline and to master it.
Yeah.
So, is there a very close bond between rider and horse?
Of course. They work together, they learn from each other. I think they live together like a couple and they are friends.
And they get to trust each other, I imagine.
Yeah, that's the most important fact.
Because riders, and I know dressage riders all over the world, though clearly what you do at the Spanish riding school is more than dressage. But dressage riders say that every horse is a journey. Every horse offers a different challenge.
That's correct. Every horse is different. Also, every rider is different. And every horse works in another way with another rider.
Yes. So you have to learn how to team them up. That's what takes so many years. And that's what enables you to look so perfect when you are demonstrating or when you are performing. Do you think for the human being, do you need a certain sort of mental makeup to be a top rider?
I'm sure. On the one hand, the skill to communicate knowledge and riding ability to the stallions is very important. On the other hand, a high degree of empathy towards the stallion is also necessary.
Yeah, because these are stallions.
Yeah.
They are animals with huge personality and determination. They are not easy animals to train. They're not like, lap dogs. These are difficult animals, and they would only respect the very best. We've just seen some pictures there of the training that is called an der Hand. In other words, the rider isn't riding, he is behind the horse, but learning how to train the horse with reins.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
The pictures are wonderful, aren't they?
Yeah.
And we mostly see pictures and videos of training and performances in the Great Hall of the Winter Riding School, but you also have extensive training school facilities, which are away from the Great Hall.
This is correct. In Vienna, we have the Summer Riding School for the training, and since 2005, a generous relaxing and accommodation area has been available to the stallions in the beautiful countryside of Lower Austria, 50 kilometers northeast from Vienna.
And that's
Three times a year, the stallions spend there 6 weeks for training and relaxation.
Yeah, it couldn't be a more perfect setting. Is that what you call the training Zentrum in Heldenberg?
Yes, that's the training center Heldenberg, the so-called training center Heldenberg.
Yes, and that's where a lot of the very hard work goes on. And we had some beautiful shots there. That lovely last one there of a horse being walked or trained, I think, outdoors at night. Beautiful, beautiful shot of the most gorgeous horse. Now, I mentioned earlier that not many people get to see those other facilities, like the stables and the training ring, but Viking guests often do get privileged access. And here is Viking's very own Karina Hagen on her special visit.
Welcome to a world of elegance, discipline and remarkable skill. We're backstage at the Spanish riding school with the world-famous Lipizzaner horses. Whether you like horses or not, this is really a lifetime experience.
The powerful Lipizzans in the hands of their skilled trainers and riders spend significant time learning and practicing together, forming an unshakable bond between horse and rider along the way.
We don't see our stallions as horses, we see our stallions as partners, and we want to work together with them. You know, the horse is first in every meaning. That is our philosophy, that is our way of treating horses.
The performing Lipizzaners are all stallions. Their coat is gleaming white. But did you know they're actually black for the first 6 to 9 years of their lives?
They start to perform with the age of 10, after 6 years of training.
Many Lipizzaner stallions have long careers in this unique environment of caring and companionship, with some performing well into their 20s.
The work with the Lipizzaner stallions, there's nothing compared to it.
These noble creatures possess a rare combination of beauty and strength, temperament and intelligence, and the stallions have been synonymous with Vienna for over 400 years.
This is Pluto, my new friend, and this is truly an experience of a lifetime.
Viking river cruises sharing privileged access to the culture of Vienna.
It's wonderful to watch. I've never seen it myself, but I've always seen it. And I know so many people all over the world have seen you. You must get so many letters and messages of appreciation from people all over the world.
So it is. I think more than 1,000 a year reaches our offices in Vienna and also at Biber.
Yeah, the horse-loving fraternity is very large. Yeah. So, can you tell us more about the horses themselves? How do you breed them? I mean, firstly, tell me more about the fact that they are gleaming white in adulthood, but they spend their first few years almost black.
Yeah, a Lipizzaner foal is born with a dark-colored coat. It doesn't get the famous milky white color until the age of 6 to 10 years. It's a long period.
It is a long period, which is why we now see so many shots, as we're looking at there, of white adults and darker foals. So how does the breeding program work? I mean, you probably get foals every year. How many per year?
The Lipizzaner Biber stud farm fulfills two primary functions. Firstly, the best and most beautiful stallions are bred for the Spanish riding school. And secondly, the pure and healthy Lipizzaner line must be continued. Breeding in Biber is based upon a herd about 70 brood mares. 35 to 45 foals are born each year.
Ah, how beautiful. That last shot we saw there of the two young stallions, I think, rearing up against each other was very sort of symbolic of what they will do later in life when they learn how to do the ballet, as it were. I mean, look at them. They are a pretty amazing breed. They clearly have a lot of strength in their back, in their hind legs.
The stallions, the picture we saw, they play with the other one, yeah. But it is also possible to work these movements out in the performance as the so-called airs above the ground.
Because you know they can do it.
Yeah.
But I find what is very reassuring about some of these lovely photographs is that you clearly believe that these horses, though they work a very disciplined lifestyle, you also give them plenty of time off.
Yes. In the first 3 to 4 years, the horses are completely free. They know the man and the woman who works with them, but they are not educated, they are not trained. They can live a complete free life.
And look, they have plenty of space to just run and run and run.
Yeah.
Gallop, gallop, gallop.
Yeah.
It's brilliant to watch. It's wonderful to see. And I think that will also reassure a lot of people who worry that they live a very disciplined life. They clearly have plenty of free time to roam free. And you do believe that that's very important in the development of those horses, don't you?
Yes, so it is.
Yeah. But back to basics. Why is it, do you know why the stallions only are used for your work? Is it just, I mean, are they the ones with the strength? What do the mares do all year?
Yes, the mare foal is guided through primary school, we say, like primary school, for 5 years in Piba. At the age of 4, they get training with saddle and also in a harnessed team. During this time, their progress, character, physical attributes, and condition are documented. This is crucial in deciding whether a young mare is incorporated into the mother herd.
So there's a mother herd. How do you judge which young stallions will make the grade for the Spanish riding school? And what happens to those who don't make the grade?
During the first 3 years, the sampling takes place each autumn, most time in October. Movements, disposition, constitution, body size and build, and of course ancestry are the criteria. The selection is done by a group of 7 experts. And those who will not be selected, they will be sold.
And those experts know what they're looking for, clearly.
Yeah.
They're very experienced.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, you are then going to invest at least 6 years of training before they would be ready to perform. Well, look at this time of year. We're into the beginning of summer, and I know the horses are about to go on their summer holiday for a rest at the stables in Heldenberg. And you do believe that rest is very important. And now we see these beautiful pictures of the horses literally doing that, having a summer vacation.
It's really important. They are similar to human beings, the horses, and they need also the time to relax, the time to spend time in the green area, in the planty air, and so on.
I know that we have been through some very difficult years in the last 2 years, certainly, where we've all not been able to travel or do the things we wanted to do. But I do know that sometimes your horses go on tour in many parts of the world. How do you do that? How do you take horses on tour around the world? This must be quite a feat of organization to transport them.
Yes, the tours present an organizational challenge in a special kind. More than 24 stallions travel with special horse transporters around Europe. The horses are flown if the tour takes place in the USA. And we are now looking forward to traveling abroad with our horses. In December 2022, we start in Europe. There will be performances in Germany, Denmark, Norway, France, and Switzerland. And we hope that we will be able to travel to the United States in 2025.
Wow. You fly horses on aeroplanes?
Yes.
My goodness.
The same aeroplanes which are used from the human beings.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I know, that sounds amazing, doesn't it? But that last photograph there, I didn't know, but your horses also pull carriages.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What did it mean for the Spanish Riding School to be awarded UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage status?
We are proud and grateful that the High School of the Classical Horsemanship received this status in 2015.
And I know that history and tradition are very, very important. And you've been able to maintain this dedication to classical techniques. Do you ever feel a pressure to modernize?
Well, our riders and stallions guarantee that this dedication will also exist during the next centuries. There's no necessity to change the principles of the high school of the classical horsemanship. The kind of presentation, the things around the classic dressage are carefully developed into our modern and changed world.
Yes, it's a bit of both, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
when tourists come, I suppose they expect they want to see those old traditions to be upheld, don't they? And here we have some wonderful pictures of your beautiful white horses doing, I guess, what tourists expect. This amazing disciplined dressage technique that gives everybody such an incredible experience. Now, this is a quadrille.
This is a part of the quadrille, yes.
Yeah. Now, I gather this is a very, very difficult maneuver that must take, well, probably years to perfect. This is horses dancing a dance, isn't it?
So it is. The school quadrille is one of the highlights of the performance. The airs of the classic dressage are performed with absolute precision by 8 horses and their riders. The horses are very close together during the entire choreography. And the choreography is reminiscent of Baroque horse ballets. The school quadrille lasts about 13 minutes and is therefore a challenge to stamina and concentration. And it's achieved by practice, practice, and practice.
Yeah. And there we saw them saluting again the picture of the emperor in the royal.
Charles VI. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But possibly, I would have thought, the hardest challenge for horse and rider is what people often call airs above the ground, highly controlled and stylized jumps. How on earth are they achieved?
Airs above the ground are highly complex figures in which the horse stands up balancing on its hindquarters or actually performs a jump.
Yes.
They demand from rider and horse perfect body control, absolute balance, and hence a maximum degree of uncertain talent.
I know, again, I read an article by one of your riders who said that, I mean, clearly you're expecting a lot of the horse there, and the horse has to learn a whole new balance, but so does the rider. And they spend years being able to keep their seat, I suppose. So let's treat our viewers now to the splendors of what is often called the White Ballet, or the Ballet of the White Stallions. Here is the full amazing video from your incredible Spanish riding school. Let's look at this. way you give the last laugh to the horses. I love that.
Fantastic pictures.
Yeah, isn't it? You must feel very proud when you see a performance like that.
Yeah.
So what of you? What brought you to the Spanish riding school? Because I understand your background is law.
In fact, yeah, I studied law at the University of Vienna, but also made a College of Agriculture. And I have a close relationship to animals. And so this was the perfect combination to start at the Spanish riding school 50 years ago.
Well, wow, congratulations. That's a long time.
Thank you.
Do you ride?
In my younger period, I rode horses, but if I compare it to the quality of our riders, it's better to say I've never rode.
Okay, but that's not fair to compare you.
Yeah.
So tell me about your role and responsibilities. What is a typical day for you as Chief Operating Officer? What do you do?
I'm responsible for the financial affairs, for the human resources, the sites, and also the agriculture. And the typical day is to make many phone calls, to have many meetings, and unfortunately, less contact to our horses.
Yeah, you should insist on a daily ride.
Yeah.
So, what can Viking guests look forward to when they visit?
They can looking for the morning exercise, the performance we saw at the pictures in the films, and also the guided tours, which give an overview about the winter riding school, the summer riding arena, and also the stables.
And I know that the Spanish riding school, because you are so uniquely aware of your heritage, your very long history, you collaborate with other well-known Viennese institutions, such as the Vienna Boys Choir. You have interesting partnerships. How do they work?
This partnership you mentioned is a perfect partnership and a perfect combination. Both institutions are highlights of the Imperial Vienna. And in the combination performance called A Tribute to Vienna, the Viennese Boy Choir presents classical music and we parts of the classical horsemanship.
What an amazing combination.
Yeah.
That is like immersing yourself in Viennese culture when you visit. That would be brilliant. And I know that your CEO, I think Sonja Klima, has written a book which apparently, and I haven't seen it yet, but apparently tells lots of really interesting facts and fables about the Lipizzaners and the amazing history of the Spanish riding school. We can buy it, I guess. Where can get? I mean, I imagine that's available to buy, and it's got lots of stories.
Yeah, Sonja published last year a book, The Lipizzaners, with facts and also fables. Yeah, and you can buy this book in all our shops and also in the web shop of the Spanish Riding School.
So what's coming up for you? You mentioned in December that you were going to take the Stallions on tour.
Yeah.
And at the moment, as we said, they're just going into their summer recess. What else can we look forward to in the next few years? Lots more performances now because you will be welcoming people back.
Well, we had you mentioned it, we had a period of 2 years which was very hard from the economic point of view. And we hope that the next years we can welcome many guests from Europe, but also from the USA. And I hope that I will see and I will welcome many of Viking tourists in Vienna.
Yes, everybody will want to see you. I know that. Well, I hope you have a very happy summer. Do the horses get a holiday? Do you?
The horses are at the moment at holidays for the next 5 weeks.
Do you get a holiday?
My holiday will start at the end of August. So during the summer I have to work. Yes. But then I have some time to relax.
And to everybody watching, I know you'll want to say welcome at any time. But to you, thank you very much for a lovely interview. And give our love to all your horses and riders. And I know a lot of people watching right now will probably be wanting to meet you and your horses and riders in the coming years. So thank you very much indeed. It's been brilliant to meet you. Erwin, thank you very much. And
thank you also so much.
Thank you. And just to say to everyone watching, that was incredible, wasn't it? I'm sure that will make you want to go and see them in person. I certainly do. But while you're planning your next holidays, have a wonderful week. And until I see you next week, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and well, and goodbye.